one of the things that you get to do on The Informer is talk to an array of different people, professionals from all walks of life, and occasionally you run into someone who's done things that you would love to have been a part of, but suddenly she's taken this, right-hand turn to do something brand new. And one such person is our next guest, and I reach out to, via Zoom of course, as we do so many things these days. Her name is Cat Harding. Welcome to The Informer, Cat.
Hi George, lovely to be here. Well, here, but
communications project management professional, 20 years experience. I mentioned across a multitude of different industries. It should be a case of what haven't you done, Cat, rather than what you have done. Is that fair?
Yeah, I've worked in a wide variety of industries over the years. I've worked in music, I've worked in trains, I've worked in events, I've worked in electricity, really all over the place.
In those days when you were part of the music scene, Vanessa and Morossi and others, you were pushing and promoting them and giving them a chance to be stars.
Yeah, that was my very first job out of school. Really was working in music, and I was lucky enough to work with some incredibly talented people, including Vanessa Amorosi and Sister to Sister and the Invertigo boys. It was a really special time.
Yeah. What was the thing that lit the fuse and excited you enough to get behind them and see what their journey would look like or could look like?
Oh, look, I was deeply passionate about Australian music, and I think everyone loves to be surrounded by talented people, and when you get to be that close to people who are as talented as they were, and you become passionate about, their career becomes quite personal, and we worked long hours, but we loved what we did, and to see them have success, was the end goal really, and seeing them fulfill their potential.
That end goal for you, it's taken you all around the world. You've done some great campaigns for different companies, for the London Underground. What haven't you done? Again, it's more a question of what you haven't done. But I noticed that these days you've taken that passion, you've taken that experience, that worldliness that you've learnt and gathered for yourself over the years, and you've got involved with PonyUp for Good. I want to know about this.
Yeah,
Talk to me about it.
Look, about 5 or 6 years ago, my best friend Marty Brown and I both decided that we wanted to do something that was a little more fulfilling in terms of giving back to the environment and the community, and we both left our jobs with a view that we wanted to build something that we were really proud of. We went to sort of our corners and decided that we would just kind of have a bit of a navel gazing period of time and sort of work out what we thought was valuable to us moving forward, and we came up with a sort of a head and a heart list. And unsurprisingly, they were very, very similar. And what we knew we wanted to do was something that had an environmental slant, and something that gave back to the community in a valuable and measurable way. And most importantly, something that used our skills and abilities to the best possible potential in a really positive way. And we came up with a number of different business models, and finally settled on the idea of reusing secondhand technology. The idea actually came out of Marty was the president of a charity that supported a school in Cambodia, and her husband ran a marketing agency, and they used to take the computers at the end of life at the marketing agency and resell them and donate the money to the school. And so we thought, what if we made that big and did it much bigger? And so we did. We were very lucky. Our second client was Australia Post. Our fifth client was Telstra. We worked with some of the biggest businesses in the country to turn their technology into meals for people in need.
So you lucked out, huh? You just landed with three of the biggest companies.
A little bit of work in it.
Wow. Now, PonyUp for Good, you've got 5 topics that you love getting around. And I love that the old computers, you rebirth them and they give them a new chance of life. People do it with clothing. They call it, giving your clothes a second life. There are a bundle of people making money, and they're doing it around the world, which is just fantastic.
But a lot of, the Bravo stores and things like that.
Yeah, but you've taken it further. Electronic waste, food waste, social enterprise. You've also looked at very much the value of how you procure things. So that is another layer that you've added to this wonderful challenge that you're putting together. And you've also added, and I love this, the corporate social responsibility angle, because PonyUp for Good has got to be good for all those agencies who want to do a good job but aren't always in the best possible light capable of delivering that. Is that fair? Or am I being too hard? They mean well.
To make it easy, you know. I mean, if you're running a business, you want to do the right thing, but it isn't always easy to do the right thing. So if we can provide a service that is something that businesses have to do anyway, they've got end-of-life technology, they have to get rid of it. They want to do it in a secure and sustainable way. They don't want to risk their data, and we're able to do all of that for them, and then turn it into a good news story for their brand and their employees, and they're able to then have that sort of heart piece in their business without really having to go out and reinvent the wheel.
So how do they do it? How does it start? If I want to get something going in our business, how do I reach out? Do I reach out to Cat, or is there a simpler way?
No, you reach out to Cat. We're on you pop onto the PonyUp for Good website. You can reach out to Cat or Marty. We tend to deal with bigger businesses, but we certainly deal with small businesses as well. And we've now got an at-home collection methodology for individuals called eMeals, which is emeals.io. So you can actually have stuff picked up from home and donate 5 meals to Second Bite just by having your e-waste collected from your home. What
a great relationship you have and built up with Second Bite. They're doing some fantastic work too.
Just wonderful. We took the time to meet each of the food rescue charity groups at the very beginning of the development of PonyUp, and I believe you've interviewed the wonderful Jim Mullen, the CEO of Second Bite, who the first time we met him, we just knew that that's who we wanted to work with. He's inspirational.
A winner. I loved his origin story. Oh my God, how good was that? Speaking of old things that are really special, and I'm not pointing fingers. No, old tech, new life is one of your mantras. Okay, fess up. Who came up with it, you or Marty?
Well, I couldn't actually tell you. I remember walking around an oval with the dog, coming up with ideas for about 30 or 40 minutes and rattling off different ones, and that was the one that resonated with us the most. It's just simple. It is. You're giving your old tech new life, but you're also giving old food new life. So the technology itself gives life to a whole range of different things.
You've done some fabulous stuff. You've managed to divert more than 200,000 kilos of waste from landfill. Hey, that's gold. More power to you. Through the donations to charity, through Second Bite that we were talking about earlier, you've managed to provide 350,000 meals to people in need. Hey, that's awesome. You and Mother Teresa are getting closer and closer and closer. Now, what's next for PonyUp for Good? Talk to me.
So, look, we're continuing on our path. I mean, COVID has obviously been challenging, as it has been for a lot of small businesses. E-waste has not really been a primary focus for businesses. So as things start to open up, we're getting back on track. As I mentioned, we've recently launched eMeals. So eMeals is backed by an incredible platform called EcoActive, which is developed by the Active Group. And it's got this amazing algorithm that will enable any kind of waste to be collected and delivered by a courier service to its most local recycler. So that's going to enable us to start looking at a multitude of other waste streams outside of technology. So we're looking at solar panels, and we're looking at batteries. There's a lot of different programs that we're starting to embark on where we're going to try and tackle different waste streams as well, and try and turn them into meals for people in need. So, that we're talking with a large facilities management company about light globes at the moment, and how we can, they service lots of different large retailers, and if we can turn all their light globes into meals for people in need too.
Kat, electronic waste responsible for 70% of the toxic chemicals that we see every day, that we have to find a way to get out of lead, cadmium and mercury. You guys, you've cottoned on to something very special, and I see that you've also been rewarded with a number of acknowledgements and awards by governments and other agencies for some of the work that you do. PonyUp for Good has taken a more national profile over the last few years with some of those bigger contracts. I think what's also exciting is you've also managed to lock into the millennials and the way they think.
Very much so.
So you're bringing everyone along on the journey.
Well, in fact, I think they're bringing us along on their journey. The millennials and the Gen Zs are super passionate about working with and spending money with brands with whom they have an alignment in terms of their values and goals. So you'll see more and more in the supermarket. You've got a choice between this honey and that honey, and this honey donates money to bees, and this one doesn't. And people are making the choice to spend where they know that not only are they getting the product or the service in our case, but they're also giving a community outcome as well. And that's very much being driven by the younger generation, and they're spending and choosing to spend their money with businesses that do good work. Yeah,
that good work is actually adding another layer of support, which is just fantastic. Hence the term PonyUp, PonyUp for Good.
Not everybody knows the term. It's quite funny. It's a very American term. It means to contribute or kick in, but we do get asked an awful lot what it means.
I'm an old guy. I've seen this stuff come and go. PonyUp is great. We love to support you in whatever campaign you're pushing. Keep us informed and let us know what's next for you guys. Cat Hardy, thank you for joining us and giving a glimpse of not only the origin story, but much of what you guys have been doing over the last couple of years. Thank you.
Thank you. Pleasure to see you today. Thanks for having me.
Good on you. Cat Hardy from PonyUp for Good.